All right. My name is Pedro, and today I'm joined by Julia to share with you how we've used AI in one of our recent design sprints, and yeah, hoping to get more ideas of how we could use more AI in our process. But before we share anything, let's introduce ourselves. Julia, do you want to go ahead first?
Hi, I'm Julia Miocene. I'm a senior product designer from UX Papercuts team, and I was just a participant on this design sprint.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm Pedro. I am a principal product designer. I'm based in Lisbon, in Portugal, and I was the facilitator of this sprint. So I'm going to start by sharing a little bit of what was this sprint about for context, even though that is not hugely important for what we're going to share today. But essentially, we use this design sprint to produce two promising directions for an AI-powered GitLab. And our North Star was that in 2 years, GitLab will be the fastest, smartest way to build secure software where human teams and AI teams ship together. And we did a bunch of exercises and activities, alone and together, both synchronously and asynchronously, embedding into problem space, defining the challenge, all the way through building concepts and then testing the concepts. And so if you want to learn more about this design sprint, there's a link in the presentation to the full concept and the results themselves, and also the issue tracker and a FigJam board, which I'm going to share a little bit today, but we're not going to go through the contents and the results of the design sprint. The participants were encouraged to use AI at every step and make it like reflexive usage, and being very clear and specific in the prompts that they wanted to basically use AI as a thought partner, researcher, critic, teacher, pair designer, programmer. And that's what we did in some steps, not all of them. Julie is going to share a little bit later of how that happened. So we adapted the design sprint process for this specific design sprint. And today we're going to focus on how AI was used in two moments, the define challenge step, and then later when we were building prototypes or designing concepts for the solutions. So first, AI-powered problem space exploration. And so one of the things that I did to help the participants on board and generate how might we's, goals, sprint questions, and to just help define the challenge of this design sprint was create a Claude project that I shared with them. And so I'm going to share a little bit of that here. So this is the Claude project, and I uploaded all of the knowledge that we had, and even transcripts from some of the interviews we did in a roundtable with experts, and uploaded all of this so that participants could ask questions about the research, about the evidence, the market, whatever it is that they wanted to understand. And for this project, one valuable thing that sped up a lot of things for me was to build these project instructions. I didn't write all of this by hand. I used Claude itself to generate a system prompt for this system, this Claude project, and it generated the prompt for me, which I then pasted in here as the project instructions. So this would basically be as an assistant to help export the design sprint. And so this was very helpful for me personally when I was organizing the design sprint. Some things that are very simple but very effective is when the participants are creating how might we's, was to actually very quickly create examples of what how might we look like and be in this context of this design sprint with this theme, and creating these examples throughout the different exercises in this FigJam board was very quick and effective with AI. And another thing that would have taken me a very long time was to create this high-level process map where we have actors, the process of discovering, learning, using, and the goals. And so this is not meant to be, scientific and perfectly accurate and based on concrete evidence, although all of this was based on research and things that we looked at in the past. It was just had to be good enough, and it was good enough for the purposes of this design sprint. And so this was all created, or most of it was created with the help of Claude in this Claude project. And then finally, a cool thing that we also did was to use this project to create an engaging and fun and interactive way for the participants to embed themselves in the problem space through a game. So this is, as you can see here, it's a Claude artifact, and it generated this game based on all of the context that I had fed him. And it's an agent strategy game called Agent Orchestra. So there's like a setting here and what you need to do, and it's a turn-based game, and you can start the game and you have the DevSecOps pipeline with the different stages, and you basically deploy agents in what you want to do. You want to add like a manager agent to the plan stage, or maybe the verify. I want to add a governor agent. And then I can add a workflow. So I want to analyze code. Yeah, it's it's much more complex than maybe it should be, but you can end turns, and now it says, okay, false positives alerts is now affecting your system, decreases efficiency by 2. And so yeah, we have this new challenge that I need to solve. Yeah, so it's a very involved game, but just a fun and interactive way for people to spend a few minutes to learn about these space and the concepts and how they link together. And again, just creating this project with this knowledge to then output this game, it took less than 5 minutes. And for the benefits that it had, it definitely paid off. So this was a very quick and fun way to embed people in the problem space. And that's a little bit about defining the challenge. I'll now hand it over to Julia to talk about the concept design.
Yeah, and first of all, let's see a part of one of the concepts that we created with Taylor.
All right, so we're gonna play a few seconds of the video. I hope everyone can hear it.
Hi, Alex. Tell us about your experience with GitLab.
Hi. 6 months ago, I was tasked with migrating Acme from our internal tools to GitLab. Honestly, I thought it'd be a standard setup, nothing special. But when I signed up, I was surprised to see that GitLab had already set up a tailored agentic system for us. I was skeptical. How could they know what we need? I assumed it was just generic templates, but as I looked closer, it covered 90% of our use case. So I thought, why not? I filled in the gaps and rolled it out.
Yeah. Is this enough, Julia, or do you want to show another?
Yes, it's enough.
Okay.
Started.
Hi,
the full
Alex.
version you can see somewhere else, when Pedro shared the link. And yeah, this is the quick overview of my process and tools that I used. And the first step was finding references, and it's really important when you work with video, because it's really nice when you have really strong references, and when you can create this sense of how this video should work, what should be there, which characters do we need, and like the pace of this video. And it was really important to use some tool for this, and I used Perplexity. This is the really I don't know, famous tool for searching on internet, and it really helped to search really nice videos that I couldn't search by myself. Next step is creating a script, real script for the video, because during the one of the design sprint sessions, we created a high-level script. It was pretty nice, but it had to be refined and completed because it didn't suit for the video purpose. And I used Claude for this. I talked with it a lot, and we tried to find the right way how these characters should communicate and how it should work, like the whole prototype. And I shared with Claude all the references from Perplexity. Claude can't watch videos, but it could understand the reference for the company, because companies always use one style for their videos. Next step is creating characters. Since this is a personal story, which is really important for this video, I had to create characters. Alex, who's our main character, and interviewer, the woman who sits on the first few seconds of this video. And it was really tough task because not all the AI tools understand how can you place a few characters in one room and use the same lights, same interior and everything else. And the winner was ChatGPT. Pedro, can you please click on the tab? Yes. So ChatGPT was the winner. Midjourney and Claude failed this task. Well, Claude always fails all the creating image stuff, but Midjourney also couldn't understand how to create two different persons on one in one setup. Next step was a voiceover, and it also was pretty interesting thing. I haven't voiced over anything for a long time, and I didn't know how this market works right now. And there are a lot of free tools that you can use. Well, kind of free. You have some pre-credits to try these tools. They're not famous at all, and they are pretty bad because they create robotic voices and it's not working well. So I used Vit. It's a really nice tool, but it's pretty expensive, and it creates really, really real voices. These characters even breathe, so you can hear it in the video, and it's really cool. And the last step was animating, and all the interfaces that you can see in the video and all the animations of them were created by real humans. But I tried to animate characters with a few different tools, and especially with Kling, which is a Chinese AI tool for lip syncs. And it's not working well. And now we can see on the next slide how these characters look.
Watch out, you're gonna be scared. Let's see if I...
Hi! 6 months ago, I was tasked with migrating Acme from our internal tools to GitLab. Honestly, I thought it'd be a standard setup. Nothing special. But when I signed up, I was surprised.
I think... You want to show the end part as well? Or is this
No, I guess it's enough. Yeah.
It's enough.
Well,
We don't need to scare people more.
Yeah, it's a little bit creepy.
Sorry.
Hi, Alex.
Oops,
Tell us
sorry
about your
again.
experience.
Okay.
So yeah, a few points that really helped me. First one is having a strong reference, and Perplexity really helped to find a lot of different videos from different companies that I haven't heard about. And it understood what I wanted to get. And it required a lot of iterations, but anyway, at the end of the day, I got my references, and it was really important for next steps for creating script and everything else. Next point is about anchoring the story in a real user perspective. It helped. It's not about AI mostly. It's more about like how to explain ideas when you work remotely, and you're not always showing your concept to users or people, teammates, different people. It's more like how you explain things when you're not there and people see your prototype or concept. And it really helped. And also it helped to explain what's happening on the screen without explaining every step of this user, because this user explains everything by themselves. Next point is something bad. Don't change any wording at the last stages because it really it's a pain point, because when you already animated everything or like created the whole picture and you change one little word, AI will create a new track, and this track will be shorter or longer, and you can't predict what will happen there. So it's better to create your final voiceover at the first step. And the last point is all of these tools are pretty expensive. Some of them are not expensive or almost free, but they are pretty bad. And if you want to get something really good, you need to pay a lot of money. And yeah, it's just something that we really need to keep in mind when we start doing something new with new tools that we haven't used before. We need to find a way how to pay for them and how much do we want to pay for them. Yeah, that's it from me.
Great. Thank you, Julia. So with all of this, what's next? So there are two things I want to share with you. One is doing more design sprints, and this is top of mind for leadership, and we want to do more of these intense and collaborative activities across the company. And here I mentioned design sprints, but it can also be lightning design jams, think bigs, more of these, but also trying to understand how we can do them more efficiently and effectively to try to not overload team members with preparation and facilitation to spin up these activities quickly and ensure speed and quality. And second is more AI powered. So one of the things I'm interested is seeing how we can make design sprints, but also just design activities and things that involve design thinking more AI powered to try to have a shorter timeline, make them more agile, and make it more, inclusive of everyone to join this and use these tools to prototype, to have different ideas, to have, directional outcomes. And we put two questions in the agenda for you in case you have thoughts on this. So one, what other ways could you leverage AI in collaborative work with others? And two, what topics and time horizons would benefit from a design sprint in your perspective, from the areas in which you work in or the challenges you see in the company? And is it. Thank you so much for your time.